All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Dr. Phillips High School. We are live pregame for the Mustangs taking on the Panthers. My name is Mark Barchi, the voice of the Mustangs. I am joined by Neil Fisher from the Apopka Chief. And Neil, we have a rematch tonight of the state semifinal game. Dr. Phillips was on a winning streak at the end of last season. They have somewhat fallen from grace this season, and the Mustangs are seeking vengeance for that playoff loss last year.
Yeah, Mark. Of course, as you just mentioned, they're only 2-4 this year. They're one of those teams that, in order to get ready to make that long run into the playoffs, they play a lot of other playoffs teams, and that is reflected in the 2-4 record. The difference is in years past, you can't expect to win every game that you play against a team that has aspirations of winning a state championship, but they did win, at least half of them. This year they've lost 4 games, as we mentioned. All 4 of those games were to teams ranked in the state top 10. Of course, one of them was also Lee County up in Georgia. They also lost to Daytona Mainland, West Orange, Wekiva's opponent last week. The 2 victories have only come against Timber Creek as well as Cypress Creek, 2 teams that they should beat very handily. The big thing about this year's team, and the reason for that, is basically that potential that we see every year is not yet developed. Dr. Phillips is a state championship contender every year because they have what I call the line of succession. When a player graduates, there's someone to step in. The skill and talent is certainly still there, and it's just not been realized yet.
So, Neil, the Mustangs took a fall last week thanks to the fourth quarter mistakes that they made and allowing the West Orange Warriors to come back and win that one, handing the Mustangs their first loss of the year. However, in spite of that, thanks to the Mustangs' strength of schedule so far, they are actually still number 1 in the Class 8A Region 1 point standings that came out this week, even ahead of Apopka and West Orange, their district rivals. It's very easy to imagine a scenario where Wekiva beats Apopka, Apopka beats West Orange, everybody beats Evans, and Wekiva, West Orange, and Apopka all end up in a 3-way tie at 2-1, and it ends up coming down to points. If that happens, then those point standings for playing those stronger opponents earlier in the year could very well come into play for a potential district championship, or if not, then at least for a wild card. We could see 2, maybe even all 3 of those schools get into the postseason based on the new point system.
Yeah, and again, as Coach Bedingham said after the loss last week, it's disappointing to lose the game, in particular because it was a district game, and the new system, even though it's based on points, the easiest and most direct way to get into the state tournament is simply by winning your district, and Wekiva is now behind the 8 ball.
All right, well, Neil, we actually got to cut it off here because Brian Wilson is about to kick off. Panthers are going to have the first possession here in this game, and we're going to be carrying it live for you on Twitter at Wekiva Sports. You can also click the bar graph next to today's game on the schedule on WekivaMustangs.com if you want to follow the play-by-play live. We'll see you at halftime.